Alright, are we live? Can't see myself on there. Oh, I got the camera turned around. Let's see if we can flip it around this way. There we go. And we're live. You guys are gonna help me get a fire going. Let me set this over here. What's up, guys? Welcome to my, hey Katie, welcome to my island home for the night. I'm just in the process of getting a fire going here tonight. First fire I've had so far on the island. Once I get this going, I'll go ahead and look at comments and everything. I'm Gabe from Our Simple Story. And welcome. Let me know where you're watching from. You can put the state in there, whatever. Can you guys hear me okay? Am I coming in loud and clear so far? Just holler at me and let me know if I'm coming in loud and clear. Not sure how good the reception is out here. All right, let's see what she said. Oh. All messages are visible. I can hear you good. Thank you, Katie. Well, I'm out here just off the coast of Anna Maria Island, Florida, getting a fire going. So bear with me for just a second. I'm in Manatee County in kind of west of the city of Bradenton, Florida. And I got people coming in. Sound is coming in good. Are you using your phone? Yes, I am. Welcome, Bama Outdoors. Representing Bama. You can see in the background back here is, I hope you guys can see that. Chris says, love and miss the backdrop. Yeah, Chris, do you know what that is back there? I hope you do. A little Manatee County trivia for you, although that might be Pinellas County. That is Highway 275 back yonder as it crosses over. Yeah, that's the Skyway, the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. That's crossing over the Tampa Bay. You can see it all lit up back there. I'm on what the locals call, let me see if I can lower this down just a bit here so you can see a little bit better. I am on what the locals call Gilligan's Island, which is 1 mile north of Highway 64 as it runs through the city of Bradenton. So Anna Maria Island is that way, Bradenton, Florida is that way, and I'm on a little island that's about half an acre of an island, nestled in here amongst the Australian pines and mangroves. You might be thinking, Gee, Gabe, what are you doing way down in what I would call Southwest Florida? I'm completing a 3-day trip from my in-laws' backyard to the ocean. Some of you may know that my son Noah and I, about 2 months ago, we completed a 9-day trip from my backyard in Dothan, Alabama. Something big is jumping out there. Anyways, we completed from my backyard in Dothan, Alabama, all the way to a little town called Grayton Beach, which is in between Panama City and Destin, Florida. It took us 8.5 days, 9 days to do it, and so I'm doing a shorter 3-day version of that trip here. And Chris says it's a manatee. Yeah, it might be. But one of the cool things I found today, a little show and tell for y'all, is but you know what these things are? It's dead. It's been dead. These are all over the water down here. They're a real pain to step on if you have bare feet. But this is a horseshoe crab. They come in all shapes and sizes. Well, all shapes, let's say. Here's a smaller version of it. And yeah, they just kind of skid around on the bottom of the water, down on the sand. And you see them kind of like moving around under the water. They eventually get washed up on shore if they die. And they look like this. So it's kind of cool. Find those all over the place. But my fire is starting to spread out here. But what I wanted to do is just take a couple minutes and tune in live here with you guys. Check in and see how everyone's doing as I get my fire back under control here. If you hear any news reports about an island burning down in Manatee County, it's not me. But I want to give a shout out to Lisa Van Wy. This is her hometown, Bradenton, Florida, and she has subscribed to the channel. So shout out from Bradenton, Lisa. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you've been able to make it to the live stream so far. Let me get some bigger, more sizable material on the fire here, and then I can check comments. I see comments coming in, but what I wanted to do was a bit of a Q&A with you guys. But I wanted to get the fire a little bit more established before I try to do that. It'd be kind of rude of me to start a Q&A and then have to duck out and get firewood every now and then. All right, I think that ought to do it. Let me raise the camera up just a bit here so you guys can see. All right, so if you guys don't mind, you can just let me know where you're watching from. And I like to kind of know what state you're from, where you're tuning in from. Well, it just got warm getting this fire going. Let me switch it over. Yeah, okay, cool. All right. Chris, I know where you're watching from, and hello to your family. It's good to see you guys. And guess we'll be seeing more of each other here soon. All right, let me figure out which direction the smoke wants to go. So yeah, today was a bit of a weird day, and this trip has been a little bit of a weird trip so far. And you know, it started out in my in-laws' backyard, which is about, let's see if I can get some better lighting going on here. My in-laws' backyard, which is about 18 miles from here. And went through some beautiful backwoods, some beautiful Florida scrub, palmetto trees and mangrove swamps. It was kind of twisting and turning down a body of water called the Gamble Creek. Beautiful body of water, and then eventually hit the Manatee River. However, that day that we took off was a day that a big band of storms was moving through. And I think this was Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, we got caught in just this headwind for a majority of the day, and seems like once we hit the Manatee River, it was just so slow going into this headwind. We're used to paddling on the Choctawhatchee River, Alabama rivers, where there's a definite downstream current, a very quick current, and there just isn't a current on the Manatee River, unfortunately. And not only that, but it's tidal, so you know, in the mornings the tide is going out, in the afternoon, you know, midday the tide's coming in, and then later in the evening it's going back out. So we were having to contend with that. We're actually fighting the current, fighting the wind. Noah was with me on the onset of this trip, but then got out soon after we hit the got out soon after we hit the Manatee River. I continued on for 2 or 3 miles, and I reached an island on the Manatee River. It doesn't really have a name or anything. It was just kind of a scrubby island surrounded by mangroves. You know, as soon as I stepped foot on that island, it was just like I got swarmed by mosquitoes and these things called no-see-ums. I'm not sure if you guys know what those are, but anyways, I quickly set up my tent, jumped in my tent, spent the night on this island, and wow, I'm feeling raindrops right now. That is so crazy. I guess there's rain moving in. Well, I woke up the next morning to 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts. It was just crazy. You know, it felt like I was in a tropical storm. I paddled another 2 hours and I made it to I-75 there in Bradenton. Wow, the rain's getting harder right now. This is pretty crazy. If it gets too hard, we might have to retreat into the tent. So I make it to 75 in downtown Bradenton essentially, and I just physically I can't go any further on this trip. The headwind that I'm experiencing, like I said, these 30-mile-an-hour gusts, the chop, the tide. It's just those 3 things combined. I can't make it any further on this trip. So I call Stacy, my wife, and I'm like, hey, I'm so sorry. I need to backtrack. And actually, I've had to backtrack a couple miles and get to this little park and paddle through some mangrove inlets. And eventually she linked up with me at a boat ramp. But yeah, so that was a bummer. I actually pulled out of the water for 2 days while all the winds died back down. I was kind of annoyed at that because I felt like I kind of failed at this trip. I was halfway in and had to, you know, turn back and go home for a couple of days. But anyways, I went back and charged up everything and you know, kind of reassessed everything, checked the weather, checked the tides, then got back on the water today. This morning, I put back in right next to 75 at a little park in downtown Bradenton called Riverwalk Park. Which is just a sidewalk basically that follows and runs parallel with the entire river through downtown Bradenton. So we popped in there real quick, and I was going downstream with the tide. The tide was going out. The river was like almost completely glassy. It was nice and flat, and I covered more ground in like 1 hour than I covered in 4 hours the couple days prior to that. So long story short, I make it to this island this afternoon at about 2 or 3, I can't remember. Just been filming. I forgot my tent at home, and the one tent I was able to find was a tent that I bought back in 2013. It was in my in-laws' garage, and I looked up the order on Amazon. I paid 20 bucks for this tent. It was the cheapest tent on Amazon, 20 bucks, and that's what I've been sleeping in the past couple nights. So what I'm doing with this trip is I'm doing this like sort of exploration trip and this, you know, backyard to the ocean adventure kind of thing. But I'm also kind of pairing that with reviewing the cheapest tent on Amazon. It's 20 bucks. So, and that video will come out, you know, after these videos come out. But anyways, it's been weird being alone because you know, the last trip I did with Noah, we had 9 days together basically, and to be camping out here alone feels weird. You know, it's just different. Normally I'm used to having somebody to talk to, and Noah was always a good companion. So they might be watching right now, so if you guys are watching, Noah, Stacy, Micah, and Eli, hey guys, what's up? But yeah, so you guys let me know in the comments where you're watching from if you're just now tuning in, and if you have any questions for me, put them in the comments below and I will answer those. As long as this is coming in live, as long as you're watching it live, I'll be able to answer your questions as we hang out here around the fire and make sure all the things are visible. But Noah and Eli and Micah, I found you guys a souvenir here from the Manatee River, from the bay. I don't know if you can see it. Here, we can see parts of it here. It's a horseshoe crab that I found washed up on shore. So, anyways, still getting you. Okay. So tomorrow, the plan is to wake up early, head west, and I'm looking right now at Anna Maria Island. I can see it. It's a little bit over a mile to Anna Maria Island. I'm going to try to get on the water while the tide is still going out, and I can basically ride the tide out and catch it to Anna Maria Island. Should take me about 20 minutes to get there. Then there's a little inlet, a little canal that cuts through the middle of Anna Maria Island and then turns north. I'm going to follow that canal to get out of the wind, basically. Or I might just ride the shore around the east side of Anna Maria, I'm not sure. But anyways, I'm going to work my way up around the northern tip of the Anna Maria Island, and then Stacy and the boys are going to meet me there for lunch. So, looking forward to that. But let me throw some more wood on the fire. So this island seems like a well-camped spot here. Lots of people must camp out here on this island, because there's very little firewood and seems to be lots of signs of human life out here. In a second here, I'm going to take you guys off the tripod and show you around the island a little bit, show you the beach down there. Get this going just a little bit more though. There we go. All right. Eli wants the horseshoe crab. Awesome. And then Bama Outdoors says, I love going with friends, but I love to go solo too. Nothing like the experience of being out there all alone. Yeah, it is interesting, isn't it? It's like, it's different. And Eli, I will definitely save you the horseshoe crab, buddy. Hopefully it comes home intact. But yeah, you know, being out here alone, you know, life is so full of like distractions and stuff. And so full of noise. Alone definitely is different. It's like stepping off of a treadmill sometimes, and kind of clears your mind a little bit, but also, I don't know, it's kind of creeps you out a little bit too, because you're like, wow, this is the first time I've really been alone for several hours, as far back as I can remember. But one of the things when I travel overseas, like when I go to East Africa, which I've done about 3 times now, well, I guess exactly 3 times now. When I hit like a layaway at an airport or something, it's this weird feeling because I'm surrounded by thousands of people in the airport, yet I'm very alone, and I feel very alone. Many of these people are speaking different languages and coming from different places, different cultures and backgrounds. And the rain's picking back up now. But yeah, it kind of gives you this eerie feeling like, wow, I'm alone. I'm far from home and I'm alone. And it's kind of a very sobering feeling, but one that I think might be healthy every now and then. But, well, how about I show you guys around the island a little bit and show you down to the beach here and show you the scenery. Like I said, out there is the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. And if I had to guess, it's about 5 to 8 miles north of me. I can't really tell. I can kind of make out headlights coming down the Skyway Bridge out there. I actually thought about trying to fly my drone out there as far as I could till my battery is at 50% and then turning around and coming back, but I don't know. I would just hate to lose it out there in those dark waters. Everything would be gone. I did, however, fly my drone over Anna Maria earlier from here. I was able to fly it the mile over there and kind of fly over the island a little bit and then fly it the mile back. So I so love having that thing, and you know, just really changes stuff. When you know, this coming Sunday, our last day of our 9-day adventure to the ocean is being released on YouTube. It's going to premiere this coming Sunday at, let's see, it's going to be 7 Central, 8 Eastern. So after that video gets released, then I'll start editing the video series for this and this 3-day trip that I've been on. What will end up being a 3-day trip. I'll start editing this and putting those out, but whatever, I mean, I love doing this kind of stuff. I mean, I've been doing this since I was a kid, even before YouTube was a thing. But what do you guys like to see? I mean, let me know in the comments. Like, just feel free to chime in. What is some of the content you've seen on my channel, or maybe you haven't seen on my channel that's been your favorite, that you want to see me try? Being out here in this island gave me kind of an idea. For instance, like, I want to do an island survival challenge video with Noah or maybe another friend or something, and come out to this island or an island on the Choctawhatchee River up in Alabama, and just, you know, do like a 4 or 5 day survival challenge video. Maybe put a cool twist on it where we have like 25 bucks that we can spend, or we have 25 bucks we can spend, but we can only spend it at like a thrift store. So that'd be cool. Shay says, I want to see you into the ocean. Okay. And my mom is texting me. Okay, I can't see what she says. Yeah, so tomorrow I'm going to the ocean, Shay. Real time, I'm going to the ocean tomorrow morning, but also tomorrow night I'll be going to the ocean, historically speaking, in day 9. Survival challenge is good, Shay says. Okay, cool. Duly noted. But yeah, so tomorrow you'll get to see us go to the ocean in our 9-day adventure, but then tomorrow, like, I'll finish this trip in the ocean here in the Gulf of Mexico, down in Southwest Florida. Well, let me show you guys around a little bit, show you what we're working with here. One of the cool things about this island, because I think it gets camped on so much, is I found 2 lanterns on this island. So I found this one. It's made by Dorsey, whatever that is. It still has functional batteries in it. So I thought that's pretty cool, right? And then I found this one over here. I don't know who this is made by, but it comes on. It's really bright. So maybe I should be using this one for illumination here tonight. But anyways, what do you guys think? Should I leave them here? Should I take them with me? What would you do? They were just hanging in the tree. Maybe I should leave them hanging in the tree. Anyways, let's have a walk around this little island here. Not all the way around it, but just some parts of it, I suppose. And the rain's starting to pick up a little bit too, so this might be good timing. We can let me use this light here for illumination. So I'm walking out to the beach here. I'm walking north on the island. And you guys mind, I might just turn this camera around here real quick, and then Vanessa says, take them. Okay, Vanessa. I see what kind of person you are. All right, so let me spin you around here. This is my view for the night. It's beautiful. This is the Tampa Bay. And you can hear the mullet jumping over there. Oh, okay, my mom must be watching live, and she's texting me, calling me Gilligan, because I'm out here on Gilligan's Island. So, oh, you can't really see, can you? But yeah, like I said, out that way, it's the Sunshine Skyway Bridge, and it's probably about 5 to 8 miles away. We're not going there, although I have been under the Skyway Bridge twice. Once on my honeymoon, on a big cruise ship, and then another time in a kayak. And like I said, that was before YouTube was a thing. And then that way over there, you see those lights in the distance, that is Anna Maria Island. And check this out, there's a really cool thing. If you look out that way, eventually you'll see the lighthouse. There's a lighthouse out there on Egmont Key. I don't know if it's going to turn up on camera, but there it is. It just flashed. I don't know if you saw it or not, but we've been to Egmont Key, and I did a YouTube video about that. Gosh, it's been several months now. But on Egmont Key is a fort, and just a little ways from that is Fort DeSoto. So you can see that video in our series here. Let me turn the camera back around before we close out for the night. But if you guys have any questions, just feel free to pop them here in the comments section, and I'll make sure to try my best to answer those. He says, is the Skyway still changing colors? Can't tell in the video. Well, that's a good question. I don't see any different colors. I just see orange, green, and red, but they're not like changing colors, they're just staying those colors. So I don't know. And then at the very top, where the two like pinnacles are that hold all the cables together. Oh hey Shay, I see your question. Hang on just a second. Those lights are flashing, but yeah, I don't see any changing colors. I don't know, maybe it was a Christmas special. Shay, you asked a really good question. Are there any alligators or crocodiles? Well, I'm in Florida, and there are both actually. There are crocodiles. They actually have located Nile crocodiles in the Everglades, but I'm a long ways away from the Everglades. I am, I guess, probably 4 or 5 hours north of where the Everglades are. So it's not impossible that there's crocodiles here, but I doubt it. Alligators, most certainly there's alligators. But alligators are something that you don't really have to be afraid of a whole lot because, or watchful for, unless they have been fed by humans. If they've been fed by humans, they're a little bit more dangerous if they've had interactions with humans because they associate humans with food. So they're not afraid of you, and they actually think that you're like a giver of food, or you are food. But most of the times in the wild, if you come across just a completely untamed and wild alligator, they're very scared of humans. For instance, I was kayaking down the Peace River one time in 2007, I think it was. And I went around the bend in the Peace River, and there on a sandbar was sitting the largest alligator I've ever seen in my life. The thing must have been 13 feet long. It was just absolutely enormous and very, very healthy. And as I was coming around the bend, I kind of startled a little bit, and it slid down the water. And I'm in a river that's probably 20 feet wide, okay? Not a big river. The thing slides down the sandbar and into the water and goes under my kayak, and it displaces the water under me, and I can feel my kayak lift up a little bit and then come back down. Yeah, that was a big alligator, but like I said, was absolutely scared of me and didn't mess with me. I wouldn't do this now, but on that trip, I actually counted, well, actually we stopped counting alligators on that trip in the Peace River, and but because there's just so many alligators, but we would pull up on a sandbar at night, and we didn't have a tent or like, you know, any kind of structure. We just slept down on the sandbar under the stars. And looking back now, I'm looking at that and thinking like, man, I don't think I have that kind of courage now, because there were some large reptiles in those waters. But yeah, that's just what we did. I think I was like 21 or 22 years old. That was right before Stacy and I got married. But yeah, another funny story. It was actually kind of north of here in a little bay called the Terracea Bay. I led a group of guys, there's about 11 of us in kayaks. That was the first time we went under the Sunshine Skyway bridge. We paddled under the bridge looking for a campsite. But we entered the Terracea Bay, and I was paddling next to somebody, and I'm just kind of going along around dusk, and all of a sudden my kayak lifts up out of the water about 6 inches and then plops back down. And I was terrified. I had no idea what it was, you know, just completely out of nowhere, this thing that lifts me up and then drops me back in the water. That's a really good question, Shay. Hang on, I'll try to answer that here in a second. I still didn't know what it was, okay? So a couple years later, I planned a similar trip with some different guys, and we're going along in these kayaks, and I entered the Terracea Bay, and I forgot all about this instance where something lifted me up in the water and then dropped me in my boat. But I'm at that exact spot. I'm like, this is that spot. And I'm with my brother-in-law, I believe it is. And he and I are traveling along in these kayaks in the Terracea Bay, and I look at him, I'm like, hey, Joe, this is that spot. Remember me telling you about something lifting me up in the water and then dropping me again? This is that spot where it happened. And as soon as I finished that sentence, it happened to him. Something lifted him up in the water and then dropped him. This is happening in the same exact spot 2 years later. As I'm retelling that story, it was crazy. but come to find out, like, we realized it was a manatee. Manatees are like these underwater mammals that they're like big, they're like massive mammals that just kind of like with their tails, they can pick you up and drop you. Very powerful animals. Shay said, do you travel with a gun? Shay, that is a very good question. And it's one that it can be controversial, but typically, yes, I do. So here's the thing. I'm not, let me see how I can phrase this. I'm more scared of other human beings more so than anything else on these trips. Animals, boogeyman, skunk ape, whatever, that stuff doesn't scare me as much as another human being. Humans are intelligent, unpredictable, and they can potentially be dangerous. So I carry a firearm for security for myself, but also too for like protection from wildlife. And it's something that I hope I never have to use. It's something that I'm licensed to carry. In either whatever state I go to, I make sure that I abide by the laws and I do it legally. It's nothing that I've ever had to use, thankfully, up until this point. I've never had to actually get the firearm out. Although one time I did not bring a handgun with me. There was one time I wish I had one. There was a beaver in the water, and I didn't know it was a beaver at the time, and I was on the west fork of the Choctawhatchee River, up in lower Alabama. And I set up camp that night on the side of the river as usual, and about 9 or 10 o'clock at night, we start hearing what sounds like someone taking a cinder block and throwing it into the river just about 20 or 30 feet from us at our campsite. Absolutely terrified us. We were like, we never encountered anything like that before. So it's like every 2 minutes, someone is getting another cinder block and throwing it into the river over and over every 2 minutes. And we're just like, we hurry and brush the fire out. We turn our lamps off and we're hiding behind these trees and we're like, what is that noise? We don't hear any like sticks breaking or twigs breaking or people moving or talking or anything. We just like randomly will hear this like this big splash in the water. And it goes on and on and on for like an hour. We have no idea what it is. But yeah, had I had a pistol then, I would have definitely have brandished the pistol. If not, maybe even fired a couple warning shots. That was probably one of the most terrified times I've ever been on one of these trips before. But lo and behold, the next morning we discover it was a beaver, a very territorial beaver that was taking his tail and flapping and hitting the water really hard. And I actually looked up on YouTube that beavers do that, and I did recognize the sound from the YouTube videos. But gosh, that was a long night. All night long, that beaver slapped out water like that, and we had no idea what it was. But yeah, I mean, that answers that question, I suppose. And like I said, I don't ever want to get to a point where I have to use one, but I'd rather have to carry the weight with me, and be glad I didn't use it than wish I had one. But like I said, the worst of my concerns are always humans, other humans. But I've never met a crazy person on one of these trips. I've always met very, very friendly people, very hospitable people. But you just never know. You never know. So, all right, guys. Well, unless you have any other questions, I think I might tune out here for the night. I'm gonna go ahead and try to fly my drone over towards the Sunshine Skyway and get some footage of it. And thank you guys for tuning in. I want to say thank you to all of our old and new subscribers. Our channel is nearing around 25,000 subscribers, which is crazy to me. I think last year, I was looking at the statistics, we gained around 3,300 subscribers just last year. And I posted about 45 videos last year. So yeah, it's really honoring and humbling. And part of it is like weird for me because I don't even know what to do. I have no idea what I'm doing with YouTube. I just kind of do what I would normally do anyways, and then film it and put it on YouTube, and it seems like people kind of dig that. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get the drone out and do some flying over yonder. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, the other thing that's weird about being out here is like, I know that a mile that way and maybe like another mile that way are like multi-million-dollar homes. So, you know, here I am on my little island with my little fire and my tent back here. And yeah, it's kind of like weird. I'm like living in the Iron Age over here, and people are living in multi-million-dollar homes just a mile away. And I can see the lights on their back porch, you know? So it's kind of a weird feeling, but kind of cool. All right, you guys keep it real. Thanks so much for tuning into this live stream, and I guess the next time I'll see you will be Sunday morning, about 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna do a coffee talk, and that coffee talk is gonna be, man, there's some big mullet jumping back there. That coffee talk is going to be kind of a state of the channel kind of coffee talk. I'm going to talk about where our channel has been, where the channel is going, and some most notable moments of 2021 for our family and for Our Simple Story, the YouTube channel. And just take a moment and thank some of the most notable fans as well, people that are always there and comment and give me feedback and encouragement. So I'm going to express some appreciation to you guys. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. It's been almost 40 minutes, and I'm going to fly the drone and get ready for bed. So keep it real, and we'll see you Sunday morning, 9 a.m.